Greetings, everyone. This is the Gardening Snail of Livingston, California, just trying to keep the community informed and the local government as honest as possible. First off, we have a regular meeting and a special meeting. The special meeting will not be on YouTube Live, but you can participate by phone by calling 520-525-8911. This is a toll call, and depending upon your phone plan, there may be a charge. You can attend in person, however, you will need to wear a face covering and seating is limited. You will only be allowed to comment on items that are on this agenda, and the limit is 3 minutes. Closed session items: conference with real property negotiator for leasing some property, public employee discipline, dismissal, release, and conference with real property negotiator over the property owned by the Livingston Farmers Association. The regular meeting will be carried on YouTube Live, and you can also teleconference in by calling 520-525-8911. Remember, this is a toll call, and how much you will be charged will depend on your phone plan. Public comments can be submitted via email at citycouncil@livingstoncity.com. Comments must be received by 2 p.m. on the day of the City Council meeting. You will need to provide meeting date, item number, name, email, and comment. Please limit to 300 words or 3 minutes, and please include public comment in the subject for the email. During citizens' comments, you will be given 3 minutes to talk about any item not otherwise on the agenda. Consent agenda. Items on the consent agenda are considered routine or non-controversial. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless members of the City Council or City Manager request that specific items be removed. Number 1, waiving of reading of ordinance and resolutions, which seems to be on every single warrant register there is nowadays. Number 2 is to authorize remote teleconference meetings. Number 3, a warrant register. Number 4, minutes of meeting held on September 21st, 2021. Number 5, minutes of meeting held on October 5th, 2021. Number 6, minutes of meeting held on November 2nd, 2021. Number 7, minutes of meeting held on November 15th, 2021. Number 8, new copier lease. Number 9, supplemental appropriation for the American Rescue Plan Act funds, amending the city's budget. Translation: how the city is going to spend its COVID relief money. Number 10, consider adopting into settlement agreements with opioid distributors and opioid manufacturer, whereby the County of Merced will receive the city's designated share of settlement funds. More on these items later. Public hearing, resolution to adopt fee increases to the recreation program. Discussion and potential action items, direction for appointments to the Park and Recreation Commission, and status update to the council concerning recall petitions. After that is council direction on future agenda items and adjournment. Quick recap on some of the meeting minutes. This one is for September 21st, 2021. Labor negotiations and potential litigation. There was no report from County Supervisor Rodrigo Espinoza, although there was no report from County Supervisor listed on the agenda. One of the main items was the approval of a City Hall lobby remodel and the award of agreement for planning services to J.B. Anderson Land Use Planning. Contracts for sidewalk repair on Main and D, a slurry seal project, and amending the City of Livingston zoning map to change approximately 4 acres from highway service commercial to high-density residential. The public hearing for the Villages at Main apartment community project was continued for 2 weeks. The second reading for new rates for solid waste was adopted, as were the first readings for new rates for water and sewer services. There was no council direction on future agenda items and no closed session announcements other than council gave direction to staff, and this meeting was not done in entirety until 1:25 in the morning. Moving on to October 5th. Once again, you will notice who is left out of announcements and reports. On the consent agenda, authorizing remote teleconferencing meetings. It looks like they have to do that at every single meeting now. Second reading of the ordinance for new rates for wastewater and water services. The Villages at Main apartment complex project was approved with the notes that the language for the condition of approval states the developer shall work with the city to seek funding through grants and other various sources to address additional firefighting resources in terms of personnel and equipment. And all they have to do is try. That's all a steer can do. Direction on future agenda items. Choose a date for Council on Recreation joint meeting, discuss the recreation fee schedule, and discuss Planning Commissioner and alternate Planning Commissioner vacancy. Now let's take a peek at November 2nd, 2021. Once again, notice who is on the agenda and who is not. There was the appointment of a regular member and a second alternate member to the Planning Commission. Under council direction on future agenda items was discuss city council and mayor term limits and discuss if city treasurer and city clerk should be added to the announcements and reports. On to November 15th, swearing in of a planning commission and alternate and the swearing in of a police officer. In closed session, more labor negotiations. About the new copier lease agreement, the Public Works copier machine has reached its useful life and is no longer supported by the lease with Ray Morgan Company. So now they want a new and up-to-date lease agreement with a new and up-to-date copy machine. On to supplemental appropriation for American Rescue Plan Act funds, which is coronavirus relief funds. These funds may not be spent on extraordinary pension deposits to pay prior obligations, may not be used to replenish any rainy day funds or financial reserves, and may not be used for debt obligations or a non-federal match for other federal programs. The City of Livingston's estimated allocation is $3,563,440 and will be received in two payments. The first payment of $1,781,720 was received in July 2021, and a second is scheduled to be received about 1 year later. Because the updated allocation estimate is higher than originally estimated, and because recently adopted utility rates utilize these COVID relief funds to reduce rate increases, and because recently approved memorandums of understanding for the different bargaining units provide stipends to employees from these funds, budget needs to be adjusted to reflect those items. And this little graphic shows how that $759,594 in extra money is going to be thrown into the local projects fund. Next, the staff report on the state and local national class action lawsuit settlement. Between 2017 and 2020, the state of California, 51 of 58 California counties, and approximately 28 California municipalities filed lawsuits against opioid manufacturers and distributors seeking to abate the opioid crisis. There was a settlement. Of this potential $26 billion, approximately $22.8 billion in settlement proceeds are payable to state and local governments. Funds are to be distributed in a period of 18 years, so it's not all in lump sums. Each county and city that receives payment of funds from the settlements must prepare written reports at least annually regarding the use of those funds until the funds are fully expended and for 1 year thereafter. A county is not responsible for oversight, reporting, or monitoring of funds received by a city which receives direct payment within such county. The City of Livingston has been allocated, at most, $88,275 to be dispersed over 18 years, which totals approximately $4,900 per year. The default distribution of funds in the settlement agreements provide that the funds will go directly to the county in which a city is located. If the city takes no action, it will have opted out of this settlement and its designated funds will flow to the state. It is recommended that the city opt into the settlement and default them to the county, given the relatively small amount of funds, around $4,900 per year, and the complex reporting requirements. Moving on to the public hearing for recreation and parks fee increases. Note that the parks and recreation fees were last raised in 2008. The Parks, Recreation, and Arts Commission presented their recommendations to the Council in a joint meeting held November 18, 2021. During the joint meeting, staff was given direction to move forward with the fee increase process. Fee increases are subject to Proposition 218 process, therefore a public hearing is required to be held. What we're going to be looking at is the recreation fee schedule summary table with the proposed fees highlighted. Feel free to take your time and pause and read as we move along. Field prep, batting cages, and pool rentals are on this slide. Under policy updates on this slide, we have the Class 2 and the description of a resident team, priority of user groups, and proof of residency. League facility reservation process. This is new, so you'll really want to pay attention to this one. An updated list of fields and facilities available, as well as some new park and field rules. Last thing we will be touching on is the staff report to provide staff direction for appointments to the Parks and Recreation Commission, because as of January 30th, 2022, there will be 5 seats that will be vacant. Staff has been advertising since early December for applications and advised members of their terms being up. A deadline of January 21st, 2022 has been placed on applications. Staff is asking Council to bring any new or returning applicants to them at the first meeting of February for appointments or extension of the application period. Any editorial content expressed on any of my videos in 2022 are my own as a resident of Livingston and do not represent the views and opinions of the City Council or the official position of the City of Livingston itself.